G'day guys, Max here from Evidence-Based Football Manager. Today we're doing another tactic test. The tactic for today is called 4-2-3-1 Quicksta Gegenpress. I found this tactic on the FM Scout website, and as of this date, this tactic has the highest number of downloads on the FM Scout tactic database. Let's have a quick look at the tactic. So it's a 4-2-3-1 tactic based on attacking mentality. It uses an advanced forward, a shadow striker, an inside forward on the left side, a winger on the right side, two mezzalas in the midfield, two ball-playing defenders, two complete wingbacks, and a skipper keeper. I like the fact that this tactic uses a left inside forward and a right winger. The majority of football players in the world are right-footed, so it is always easier to find players who can play the left inside forward or the right winger role, as opposed to the left winger or the right inside forward role. I don't know if the author of this tactic had that in mind when he made this tactic this way, but if he did, then it's a pretty smart move because it caters for the majority of football players in the world that are right-footed. An interesting feature of this tactic is that the three frontline players and the three midfield players are instructed to mark specific areas on the field when the opposition is in possession of the ball. The advanced forward is instructed to mark the central midfield. The left and right forwards are instructed to mark the opposition wingback areas. The shadow striker is instructed to mark the opposition's central defensive midfield, and the two mezzalas are in charge of the left and right defensive midfield. It's interesting that the advanced forward is told to mark the central midfield when the shadow striker is marking the defensive midfield. If you sort of imagine the football pitch upside down, the opposition defensive midfield is further up the pitch, so I would have thought that it would make more sense for the advanced forward to mark the defensive midfield while having the shadow striker mark the central midfield, but for some reason it's the opposite. Does this mean that the advanced forward is expected to drop down deeper towards the middle of the pitch when the team is on the defense? I'm not entirely sure how that's actually going to pan out during the match. I will come back to this later in this video. Now let's have a look at the team instructions. I'll just point out some things that I think are unusual or things that I find interesting. So the team is instructed to play through the wings. Tempo is set as extremely high and shoot on sight is turned on. On this page here, the players are instructed to hold shape when possession has been won. This is a little bit unusual because most custom tactics nowadays tell their players to counter rather than to hold shape, but this tactic has hold shape turned on. In this page here, I noticed the line of engagement is set as much lower, which is again a little bit unusual. Most other custom tactics that I've seen have the line of engagement set as either high or extremely high. Guys, if you're familiar with my channel, you would know that I use my own methods to test Football Manager tactics. It's basically setting up two teams that are completely identical to each other, get those two teams to play the same match over and over again, and recording the number of wins to either side. I have attached the link in the description below, so do check it out for more details. So I ran the test with the Quicksta Gegenpress tactic, and this is the result that I got. So first I have two teams, Manchester City and Liverpool, that are made of players who are 13 in all attributes. Liverpool is a team that is using the Quicksta tactic, and Manchester City is rotating between 5 different generic tactics. So after 50 matches, Manchester City has won 7 times, there's been 13 draws, and Liverpool has won 30 times. Remember, Liverpool is the team that's using the Quicksta tactic here, so the fact that Liverpool is winning a lot more here compared to Manchester City tells me that the Quicksta tactic can work well against teams that are of equal strength to your own team. Next, I'm going to simulate an underdog versus top team situation. So, I have another 50 trials, but this time, Manchester City players are 15 in all attributes instead of 13. Liverpool is still the team that is using the Quicksta tactic, and Liverpool players are still 13 in all attributes. So, it's another 50 trials, and this time it's 25 wins for Man City, 14 draws, and 11 wins for Liverpool. So since the Manchester City players are a lot stronger here compared to the Liverpool players, you do expect Manchester City to outperform Liverpool in terms of the number of wins, But Liverpool has still managed to win 11 times out of 50, which I think is not bad, considering that Liverpool is the underdog here. So, these two sets of trials demonstrate that the Quicksta tactic can be very effective when the two teams are similar in strength, and the tactic also holds up reasonably well when versing teams that are much stronger than your own team. Okay, now I'm going to do an actual playthrough using the Quicksta tactic so that we can see how the tactic actually performs in the game. Now, I chose to go with Schalke 04 in the Bundesliga. Schalke is one of the most popular football clubs in Germany, although they did unfortunately get relegated in the 2021 season. So hopefully by using the Quicksta tactic we can restore Schalke to its former glory. As always, at the start of the game I disable the first transfer window in order to minimize the variables, and I don't make any signings in the winter window as well, meaning that I use the same first team squad throughout the entire season. So let's fast forward to the end of the season and see how we went. Guys, I finished second in the Bundesliga, and I also managed to win the DFB Pokal Cup, which is the domestic cup tournament in Germany. I think this is a fantastic achievement considering that Schalke is a team that got relegated in real life. So in the Bundesliga I won 21 times out of 34, drew 6 times and lost 7 times. Bayern München did beat us to the league championship. They were just way too strong, and Bayern won the league with 11 points above Schalke. Let's have a look at the number of goals scored. So in the Bundesliga, Schalke scored 53 goals, which is 4th in the league. It's not exactly goals galore, is it? The top goal scorer in the team is Gonzalo Paciencia, who scored 13 goals in all competition, which is not that high considering that we came second in the league. Usually for teams that come second or third in the league, you do expect the top goal scorer in the team to score at least 20 or 25 goals, so Schalke didn't do too well in the goal department. This is despite Schalke having recorded the highest number of shots per game in the league. So if I go into this end of season statistics page here, you can see that Schalke is number 1 in the number of shots, but if you have a look at the shot to goal conversion ratio, Schalke is at the rock bottom of the table at 18th. Now this could be because in the Quicksta tactic the instruction to shoot on sight is turned on. So if you're going to use this tactic yourself, do consider turning this shoot on sight instruction off, and it may increase the shot to goal conversion ratio for your team. Let's have a look at some other statistics. If you have a look at the number of yellow cards throughout the season, Schalke got 82 yellow cards, which is second in the league. And if you have a look at the number of fouls, Schalke is also first in the league. So this could be due to many of the players being instructed to tackle harder in the tactic, and also because the team instruction get stuck in is turned on. So if your players are not great at tackling, then do expect to accumulate some yellow cards and even red cards throughout the season. Now, the fact that your players are tackling a lot does come with a reward. So if you have a look at the number of times ball possession has been won, Schalke is placed at 3rd in the league. So although your players are being aggressive at tackles and committing a lot of fouls, at least they are winning the possession a lot by doing so. Now, if you have a look at the pass completion rate, Schalke is 17th here, which is second worst in the league. This could be because in the tactic, tempo is set as extremely high, which means your players will attempt quick forward passes that may not connect that well, or it could just be because my players are crap at passes. As you can see from this comparison page here, the players in my team do have pass attributes that are below the average of the entire league, so this could explain why the pass completion rate was so low for Schalke throughout the season. Now, I did want to revisit an aspect of the Quicksta tactic, which is the forward players in the team being instructed to zonal mark a specific position on the field. For example, the advanced forward is instructed to mark the opposition central midfield area, so let's see if that actually works in the game. So here we have Dortmund versus Schalke match as an example. Kutusu here is our advanced forward, and he is supposed to be marking the Dortmund central midfield. Dortmund is fielding 2 central midfielders, Reina and Delaney, so you would expect Kutusu to be sort of hanging close to these 2 guys when Dortmund is in possession of the ball. And it's not really happening. As you can see here, Kutusu doesn't travel back into the midfield. I guess he's trying to be faithful more to his duties as an advanced forward rather than following the instruction to zonal mark the Dortmund central midfielders. Here we have another example, so this time it's Schalke versus Mönchengladbach, and Gonzalo Paciencia is our advanced forward. The opposition is in possession of the ball, and does Paciencia drop to the midfield in order to mark the central midfield? Nope. He's like, hey guys, I'm an advanced forward, I don't do midfields, I'm just gonna stay right up here. So yeah, this zonal marking thing in the Quicksta tactic, I don't think it's really working as intended. Overall though guys, I am satisfied with the performance of the Quicksta tactic. I mean, the results are there. Second in the Bundesliga and a domestic cup to go with it is definitely a great achievement for a team that got relegated in real life. So definitely have a go at using this tactic yourself and see where it can take you. That is it for today guys. As always, please like and subscribe. Every like that I get motivates me to keep making more videos like this. So stay safe guys, and I will see you next time.